Patrick McNeil back here with you at the intermission as we are joined now by Acadie-Bathurst Titan play-by-play man Giles Degrace, and we've had him on the broadcast before. The Titan, of course, a bilingual market, so Giles does the French broadcast. Giles, this is a Bathurst team that got younger in the second half, but it seems like they're still competitive. Do you think the team is happy with how they've competed in the second half despite trading away some veterans?
I presume that they are happy because I'm personally very surprised. Normally, when you make a lot of trades like that, there's a lot of good players that are gone since the trade period. Guys like Tide Higgins, which was the captain of the team. Then you have Joseph Eneberry, which is a great forward, a goal scorer. Another guy that's gone is Donovan Arsenault. And also, defenseman William Bishop is gone. They traded about 6 guys that were all 19 years old. I figured that after the trade, they got younger, and I said to myself, it's going to be much tougher for the second half of the season. But they are overall playing good hockey. Mind you, lately, they had a trip in Quebec where they didn't play very well. They lost a tight game in Gatineau where they were leading by only 1 goal, but late in the second period. And then they went on with some penalties, and they lost the game. And actually, the 3 goals scored by the Gatineau Olympics were power play goals, but the Titans still played overall a bad game because of undiscipline on the ice. The night after, they played Rouyn-Noranda Huskies, and they got beaten 11-0, and it was just as worse against Val-d'Or where they lost 5-1. So that was overall a very bad trip. But again, they're picking up their speed now. For instance, they played against the Moncton Wildcats. It wasn't a shootout that they lost. They played really good. They had 45 shots on goal. They had plenty of great opportunity to score, but the guy that made the difference in that game against the Wildcats was Wildcats goaltender, Keegan Warren. He was spectacular. He received 45 shots in that game. So to answer your question, they must be pleased with the way it's going overall after Christmas, since they traded a lot of veterans to get younger and to pick up some good draft picks, yet they're still running pretty well 500 average, so that's pretty good.
Certainly, they can take some positives from that. And some interesting news off ice as well. I'm not sure how closely you've been following this story, that it appears there's an attempt to launch a cooperative in Bathurst. The goal is to get 1,000 shares at $1,000, and that'll hopefully get some interest from people to invest in the team. What do we know about this in the early stages of this project?
They had an information meeting last week, and there was 140 people in attendance. I made an interview with the spoke guy for the community committee, and they're very, very pleased with the first reaction that they got. They've got a long way to go, but the plan is to show potential new owners that the people are behind the team. There's one thing about the Titan, and we've been talking about this for years and years and years. There's always the possibility that we might lose the team. Now the owners, which are local people, are putting the team for sale. It's public now. They want to sell the team, but they want someone that will buy the team, that will keep the team in Bathurst. And by involving the population behind the team with some shares, they hope that this will make a difference and the Titan will stay in Bathurst. But the process is just starting. They had another information meeting prior to Tuesday's game in Bathurst. I don't know what was the result of that second meeting, but apparently right now there's some interest. People are getting involved. And you know about the Titan, the problem is the attendance that is not very high, but the Titan has always been receiving great commercial support. Most of the corporate boxes are sold. There's all kinds of advertising inside the rink. That aspect of the business, they're receiving a great support from the commercial community, but it's to draw the people in. Mind you, lately they've been averaging a little bit more than before Christmas. There is an increase there. Hopefully this will keep the team in Bathurst for a while, and hopefully somebody will buy the team and try to promote the team maybe a different way, or I don't know what they can do, but I just hope that they keep the Titan in Bathurst.
We all certainly hope for that. They're a key part of this league. This year on the ice, one interesting player is Antoine Keller. You don't see a lot of imports from France in the queue. Maybe a little bit surprised that the T10 opted to go with an older goaltender. How has he been in his first year in North America?
There's been some ups and downs. I was impressed in the first part of the season. In fact, between the two goaltenders, Keller was better in the start of the season than Fleming. But after Christmas, Fleming has been playing, I would say, better than Antoine. I don't know how it's going to end up, but he's been pretty solid. It was a good thing to have an experienced goaltender. The Titan knew probably that they would make a lot of trades in December, and they were to be getting younger, so that's why I figured that they went for a veteran goaltender.
Last, I wanted to touch on a young player on the Acadie-Bathurst Titan, Louis-François Bélanger, second-round pick, and he's already having an immediate impact this season. Just what's been the key to his success?
He's playing on the second line, and in fact, he received some power play time on the first line for a while. He's playing very good hockey. Him and another young defenseman, Laberge, is doing very well. It's obvious that the coach, Gordy Dwyer, has a lot of confidence in Laberge. Again, he's playing at critical time during most of the games. He's playing good. So that's the future of the Titan right now. Guys like Bélanger and Laberge. There's some more younger players that were picked up there during the last trade period. That's the future of the team. There's no doubt about that.
Sounds like they've done a good job putting in a framework. Thanks for this, Jill. Great insight as always about the Titan.
Look, Pat, I would just like to finish to say just a few words on Coach Gordy Dwyer. I think Gordy is doing a great job to get the most out of his players right now, and this is obvious since the trade period. I got to give him credit.
Interesting to see him have a new staff in hand this year. That is Giles Degrace, play-by-play man for the Acadie-Bathurst Titan, joining us at the intermission. You're listening to Celtic Abota, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.